of bringing your attention to your body, giving you a little bit of structural understanding what you have and how to wear your body, because your muscles are the first clothing on your bones. Before you landing in a expensive shoe and a beautiful carpet, you're landing in your own body, but we don't think about that. When we have back pain, we don't think about our feet. Why would we? I mean, it's not your fault, I'm not blaming, because nobody was telling you. You know, I was fortunate because when I did what I did, the coaches, they were paying attention for my health. I never had an injury in 18 years. And later on, even, you know, and the movements are so beautifully designed, people don't get hurt from it because it's very well balanced. So, what we're going to do here today, I'm going to start with you at the very beginning, and I think everybody is entitled to know very little basic things about their body. Now, if you don't mind, because it's going to be a very interactive workshop, if you don't want, you don't have to, but I recommend you to do it. You get a tennis ball in your little bag, right? And then I had a handout which I might follow, I might not, I don't know. Because I never know what I'm going to do, because I never know what the audience is about. I went on online and I checked out what the court reporters are running it into, what kind of problems. You guys in a deep trouble. I don't know if you're gonna make it. It's not that bad. So, but it was really stunning how they said, and correct me if I'm wrong, I read it, you're driving a lot, right or wrong?
Correct.
You sit a lot, right or wrong?
Correct.
You have a lots of carpal tunnel and hand and finger issues, right?
Yeah.
Wrong?
No.
Neck tension, back pain, right? Anxiety, stress. Yes, I'm not a court reporter, I have it. Everybody has stress these days. Stress is the number one. And after comes the cholesterol, high cholesterol. The third is diabetes. So stress is the number one problem in our society because everything is so quantified. You know, we get rewarded if we do numbers. We get rewarded if we're not moving our body. Because in a corporation, you sit on those little cubicles and you do this all day long. Right? So you get paid for it. The kids get rewarded if they're nice and quiet in the classroom. Now, nothing is wrong with that, but in my days, we sat in the classroom because we paid attention for the teacher, because if we didn't, we had big problems. And there was no gun. And then we had 3 times a week, we undressed, put the little leotard on with a little white belt, and we went and did gymnastics. So they taught us, you know, that was great in the communism. Because you had to do it. In workplaces, 8 a.m., they stopped the work, everybody stood up from the desk or whatever they did in the factories, and they had to stretch and move. Because that's how, you know, the good communist people are strong and healthy. Actually, I read something back in the 1800s, was something like how was it? Something about the Christian strength. So they want Christians to exercise because if they're strong, they could help the weak ones. Isn't this interesting? So, you see, we had it back days, and now we kind of became so fancy and so catered and technically so advanced. Our brain is so overwhelmed, our body is so underused. So, I need, well, John volunteered for me.
That was before you said something about taking the shirt off.
John is going to take his clothes off. Partially, not all the way, just the top shirt. And I need 2 more people maybe who wouldn't mind to do a few things. And, you know, I bought little gadgets here. I'd like to explain a few things. And I'll give you a bunch of little ideas and tools which hopefully you can immediately use. Yes? You want to come? Okay. Please. So, do you have any issues, what you like to share with us?
I guess maybe I should talk into the mic.
Can you take your shoes off, please?
I've been a reporter for about, I guess, going on my 26th year, and this last year I had a bulging disc in my back.
Okay.
And I had all kinds of things done, the MRI, the acupuncture, the everything. And then I heard of a program called Deposition, which is pretty much kind of what you're talking about. And it's all strength training and floor movement and work. And after 8-9 months, I feel a lot better.
Good.
But every day I have to get up and do these weird
little tricks.
torsion of exercises. So that's my issue.
And you? She's good. She's good. Okay, so because you are good, if I ask you to sit there, and that's why you have the tennis ball. So while I'm talking, would you please take your shoes off and put the tennis ball under your foot and just roll it under your foot and try to find the sore spots. Can you take off your... just take off your shoe. So, John, it's gonna be your turn soon. Not yet. Don't be so excited. I think John couldn't wait for this moment. Would you just be a little bit patient, have a seat? Okay. Would you lay down?
Oh, where's Janine with the camera?
So, as we're speaking, you can move your foot over the tennis ball. And this is what you don't have a tennis ball? I might have some at, she gave it. So, this is what my goal is. Not everybody has time to go to the gym or spend extra time with exercises. So my idea is you do things every single day because you are alive. So you do sitting, standing, walking, turning, twisting. You stand at the kitchen counter, bathroom, watching television. So all those activities are perfect for practicing. So you have but also at work. Now I don't know if you can take a tennis ball to the deposition with you, but maybe nobody knows what's happening under the desk. Okay, so, but I have people who, they work at the computers and I have them taking with the, because it just stimulates you. The foot is like really the eye of your brain. If you're closing your eye and you're walking, the foot knows exactly what kind of surface you are at. But most people have ticklish foot and stiff ankle. Those are signs. Those are signs your nerves are in trouble. The nerves, because gravity drops all the base material down to the foot, those little nerves like little electric cords or the root of the tree, they rusty. They have calcification. They have all kinds of, build-ups there. Because the heart is not strong enough to bring it back. We need the muscle movement to bring that back, to processing it. That's why yoga, a few thousand years ago, they used to hang people upside down to reverse the fluid. It was very brave, very wise. They're still doing it. So if you don't want to hang upside down, use the tennis ball. And find the sore spots. That is where you don't have to worry about if it's painful. If it's painful, that means you found something what desperate for your attention. Because there and that little nerve root, see, the nerves are talking to us. The pain is not a disease. It's an information. And you have to know what pain to avoid and what pain to invite. So what did you learn from that pain? In this case, you learned that the foot shouldn't be ticklish, because if it's ticklish, then, you know, like the drummers can drum because the vibration goes through, right? Because it's tight on the top surface. That's how it is. Your whole fascia, your whole tissues on the foot very tight. And they shouldn't be. They should be very elastic and soft and well trained, because your foot is the primary shock absorber. It's interesting, right? So if your foot don't have the arches, you have really some problems. Sooner or later your lower back starts to get that little earthquake, because every step you make, it's a little vibration. And your lower back was not made for carrying the whole load. Neither your knee. That's why people have knee issues, because their foot. And the hip get hurt because the foot. Yesterday I had a presentation at the Integrative Medicine UCLA, and was an acupressurist, a yoga teacher, a meditation, and myself and a few doctors. And every single one was emphasizing on the foot. And what happens in our society with the feet? You can't go barefoot anywhere because it's hygienically a problem, so you put those big clunky shoes on, which has a very nice support, so you even further weakening your foot muscles. So your foot has to be better taken care of than your face. Trust me on that. This just, whatever. But if you can't walk, you have a problem. You cannot go to work. If your foot hurts, you can't concentrate. If your foot hurts, you might have liver, kidney, digestion issues, because it communicates. And if something on the chain is inhibited, then everything up and down is suffering. You know, Chinese medicine was smart. You know, those qis and the meridians and all of those things. I mean, I'm not saying one is better than another. She has a good time here. But I'm saying, you know, we can learn from everything a little bit. And that's the way how it goes. Not one thing. If somebody tells you, my system is going to cure you or solve your problem, then run. Because it's no such a thing, one thing is helping us, unfortunately. I wish. Okay, so she has lower back issues. This is a great self-help, and I recommend you, regardless you have back issues or not, just because you sit a lot, the back muscles here tend to tight up. Now, here we have the ribs, here we have the pelvis, but here we have only the spine. Next to it, huge, big muscles. The most expensive meat on the market. The sirloin. That's what holds you there. So those muscles, when you overly doing something, those muscles has to tighten up because they have no choice. Somebody has to hold you, right? So those muscles would be very happy to loosen up just by itself if they would get some help from the neighborhood. I mean, that's really seriously. So it's always an interrelationship, a connection. So this was invented by a French woman who did this for pregnancies, because it brings the pelvic floor back. But over many, many years, we learned this is extremely beneficial for people with lower back pain, because